What's up, Axie fam? Today we're going to learn how to control your opponent by limiting his card draw by using the discard curse team. Now, this comp is fairly straightforward, but it can be extremely effective against a wide variety of teams. Just about every card on this team either puts a curse card into your opponent's deck or discards cards from their deck or hand. Now, I'll warn you, this team might seem a bit slow at first, but by the time the deck cycles around, your opponent will realize, where are my good cards? And very quickly, the tables will turn. And to complement our strategy, we're using Cursed Ritual to get a little bit extra damage for each curse card we shuffle into our opponent's deck. And as for charms, I went with HP charms across the board so I could survive as long as possible. But remember, it's never a bad idea to experiment with different charms to combat whatever you're facing in the arena. Now, without any further ado, let's hop into a match and see what this team can do. Now, against a team with Momo, you definitely want to go first because this team has a very interesting counter against Momo. Most of Momo's attack power comes from its power card, Concentrate, which has Innate, which means it will always start the game at the top of the deck. Which means we can use Parasite to look at the top of their deck and discard Concentrate before they even have a chance to use it. Now I'll use the Keep feature to retain Inkling for the following turn, so I can ensure that I'm getting as many curse cards into my opponent's deck as possible. Now that I have my opponent's Concentrate out of the way, their Momo is much weaker, which means my biggest threat right now is their backline beast. They decide to use Death Shower on my backliner, but again, without Concentrate on Momo, it really is underwhelming. Now back to our turn. Let's start off with Neo to see what cards are on the top of their deck and discard any of the powerful cards. Let's get rid of Nutcracker. Now we want to do two things here. We want to damage the backliner as much as possible, and we also want to get as many curse cards as we can into their deck. So I use Inkling to attack my opponent's backliner, then I decide to take a gamble. Double Talk hits a random target twice, but if it hits two different targets, you get two curse cards shuffled into their deck. So I use Double Talk, and I managed to hit the backliner as well, so we got the best of both worlds. Now, when you're going first with this team, you want to be cognizant of your energy fragments because of Cottontail. When you're going first, as long as you never spend any energy fragments, by your fourth turn, you are guaranteed to have enough fragments to use your Cottontail for an extra energy. So with that in mind, I decide not to retain Inkling and end my turn. Now, it looks like discarding that Nutcracker card really messed him up because he's forced to play cards on both Momo and his frontline plant, which are not very effective. Now it's back to our turn, and our game plan here is pretty simple. We're just going to use our two attack cards to attack their backline beast, shuffling as many curse cards into their deck as we can. And again, we don't want to waste any energy fragments retaining anything, so we'll just end our turn and pass it along. And considering we didn't discard anything the previous turn, they actually managed to draw into some powerful cards here, dealing a massive amount of damage to our frontliner, but no worries. We still have a lot of life to go around, and this turn is going to be big because we have Cottontail as well. Let's start off the turn with Neo and see what we can discard, and this is actually a very tough decision. Both Feather Dart and Ronin can deal great damage, but Rosa is extremely annoying, and I do not play any zero-cost cards on this team, which means waking up is going to be a problem. So with this in mind, I definitely choose to get rid of Rosa. Now we're going to throw as many attack cards as we can to the backliner. First we'll throw out Inkling, Double Talk, and unfortunately we hit the front and the mid, waking the frontliner back up, but that's okay. Now we can actually use Parasite to get rid of that Ronin after all. And finally after that, we end our turn. Now I could have used Cottontail to play Garish Worm as well, but I didn't find a lot of value in using Garish Worm at that point in time. And since our Cottontail Axie is very healthy, I felt safe saving it for the following turn. Now they managed to throw out two attack cards, but now they have one energy left and no cards to use with it. So they end their turn, and now we're looking good. We have a ton of damage cards here, and we should be able to kill the beast this turn. Let's go ahead and use both Tadpole cards to damage that beast and bring him to low HP. Next, we can use Double Talk, and both hits managed to hit the beast, but he is not dead yet. But do not worry because we still have Cottontail. We can use Cottontail to get an extra energy and use use Incisor to finish off the beast, and now they are in trouble. Now they actually have a decent turn here, starting off with Death Shower to my backliner, almost taking him out, but without that Concentrate power card, it is not powerful enough, leaving him with just 7 HP. Another attack to the frontliner, and we are still alive. Now we actually have a very interesting combo that we can do with Tricky. If Tricky is used as initial, you can swap Tricky out with one of your banished cards. So we can use Tricky to stall a little bit longer, healing up our Axie, then we can actually pull back Neo from the banish pile. Now we can use Neo to mess with their card draw even more and ensure they're only drawing curse cards in their next turn. Now, since their backline beast is out of the way, our next biggest threat is their Momo. So I'll throw as much firepower her way as I can. At this point, we are looking very promising, but they get incredibly lucky. The opponent's rune, Frail Egg, randomly deals 10 damage at the beginning of their turn, and they happen to hit our backliner, which took him out. Very unfortunate, but it looks like our strategy is working great because they don't have any other options this turn other than 2 plant cards, which really are not that effective. And you can see just how much damage that Momo is taking from the Jinx cards in their hand. We should be in a great position here to take out Momo and secure this victory. We can use both Inkling and Raven to target Momo directly, but he's still alive. So let's throw out Double Talk, and unfortunately, none of our Double Talk hits hit Momo, and we're forced to end the turn with Momo still alive, but the Jinx damage should take him out. Momo gets some small heals from Big Sister, and finally we see her play her power card from all the way back from the beginning of the game. She has 1 attack to throw out, and they summon Shiitake. Unfortunately, no other options, and the Jinx damage takes Momo out. And at this point, the game is in the bag. All we have to do is throw our 3 attack cards to the frontliner, and even though he's still alive, the damage coming in from the rune on my midliner will finish the job, and we claim our victory. If you enjoy controlling your opponent's options, this is definitely the comp for you. I've used it myself to climb the leaderboard in Season 4. So have fun, and until next time, I'll see you in the arena.